dos, tres, cuatro.
Something for the B-boys and the lowriders.
Well, my inspirations were kind of all over the place. Honestly, growing up, we were too poor to afford anything. You know, radios, toys, things of such nature. But there's always one thing that always like was around. It was always my uncles had guitars, and they'd always show up and they'd play music. You know, he'd have one of my uncles specifically had a guitar, and I was just like amazed. And then, of course, you know, growing up, it was always on TV. Didn't understand what they were saying, but you know what? Buck Owens, and Roy Clark on Hee Haw, yeah, and that kind of inspired me to keep going, play, and actually explore the instrument. And it just kind of one thing after another, you know, led into things like Metallica and Anthrax and Slayer, you know. And that's kind of what started my journey. Was that what kind of inspired me to play with my uncles, and then just kind of, like I said, man, it just snowballed. It snowballed big, man. It snowballed big.
Well, everything for me started with b-boying, breakdancing. I was obsessed. So it was all about the performance before it was ever about writing music. I wanted to be a performer, an entertainer. So the thing that pops into my mind right away that caught my attention was Michael Jackson and Prince. And real quick after that was Run DMC, and then hip hop owned everything, pretty much still to this day. Rap music is gonna be my number one pick over most genres, all genres. And yeah, the metal thing and the hard rock stuff, always interested, was a fan, but never really thought about doing it until way later in life. But I'd say those three, and Coltrane. I played the saxophone because I heard John Coltrane on a record. So Coltrane, Michael Jackson, Run DMC, and Prince. Man, that's a lot of dead people.
Let me tell you about this, man. I Five Senses. The writing process is pretty amazing. My boy Zack has ideas that he's been sitting on for a while that just never really weren't really either relevant or relevant to the bands he was in. So he's been sitting on this collective group of ideas, and then we got to talking after knowing each other for a real long time. So he just like had this collection of songs and was like, hey, check this out. And so next thing you know, we're collabing, and he's got these songs written, and I just throw my parts over him, and then he just takes them, and these are amazing tunes. I mean, I'm just like really humbled to be a part of this whole writing process, because he's given me freedom to write, freedom to just do whatever. And so the writing process is a real collaborative effort. He writes at home, I write at home. We'll meet up and write together or talk. And our vision, we never really, sometimes we don't talk about what direction we want, yet it aligns. It aligns, and it's in a spooky way it aligns, but it works out real well. So our writing process is independent but collaborative, if that makes any sense.
And getting back to my roots as far as hip hop, I'm playing with samples again and doing stuff that I hadn't done in a long time. And I came up with this really funky, kind of poppy sound. I was digging it. And I didn't know where to go with it and what to do with it. And Adam is a guy I've known for 20 years. Just a really cool acquaintance. And I just thought one day, I like that guy's approach to guitar. I know he can play, but he comes with this straightforward, catchy thing that I like. I wonder what it'd be like to write music with him. So I talked to him, sent him some tracks, and he sent some stuff back. And it's almost like, it's super cliche and cheesy, but it's almost like he knew what I wanted without me showing him on a guitar or a keyboard or something. He just like, how's this? Is this kind of the idea? And I was like, look at this motherfucker. He knows exactly what I want to do. And the brilliant part about it was, well, at least the vibe I'm getting from everything is that not only did he know what I was looking for, he seems to be into it just as much as me. So that's the writing process is I guess it'd be like the young man's game nowadays. It's all technology. I write something, send it to him. He writes to it, sends it back. He writes something, sends it to me. I listen to it, I write to it, we send it back. And then if we get a moment to get together, we jam it out or we come up with something new. But yeah, that's the writing process so far. You know, this first collection of music that you're going to hear from My Five Senses is something of my brainchild, but we're already getting into territory of stuff he's created. You know, I did a collab with him on a project with this dude Masterpiece. It's a hip hop thing, and you'll be hearing that too. But I think that's just gonna be our relationship. Is, hey, I did this, check it out. Hey, I did that, check it out. That's our writing process. We've agreed from the very beginning, no limits, no genre specifics, just do something that you think sounds cool. And if we both agree, then it's done. Pretty simple. You too sexy to be mad.